over! You'll regret this! It's over now!
Come quietly.
A man's land is more than just soil and stone. It's a refuge, a tie to the generations before, and a gift to those yet to come. For me, my ranch was all I had left that truly linked me to my father and my late wife, Mary. It spanned 60,000 acres of rugged tranquility, a sturdy barrier against the chaos of the outside world. That was the vow the land had always honored. I was pondering that vow as I veered off the county road, the sun sinking low and splashing the sky with hues of amber and violet. After a grueling week at the livestock show in Denver, crowded stalls and endless chatterall, I craved was the soothing quiet of my valley. I could already savor the hearty chili I'd warm up, feel the gentle rock of the porch swing with its familiar squeak, more reassuring than any tune. But as I rumbled up the gravel drive, the silence that met me wasn't soothing. It was thick, unnatural. Normally, I'd catch the faint whinny of a horse or the cry of a hawk riding the breeze. Tonight, there was nothing, just a deep, vigilant hush that raised the hairs on my arms. I eased my old pickup to a slow roll as I topped the southern ridge. That's when my world spun sideways. There, slashed across my lower pasture, was a harsh row of glaring orange survey stakes. Dozens of them hammered into the ground like knives. For a long moment, I sat there, engine humming, my coffee forgotten in the cup holder. It was an outrage so bold, so foreign, that my brain rejected it. It was as if someone had handed a kid a pack of fluorescent markers and told them to deface a priceless painting. The crunch of gravel under my boots was the only noise as I climbed out. The air smelled off, laced with the oily tang of diesel. A massive yellow bulldozer squatted under a tarp near a strip of freshly scraped turf. Tire tracks, not hoof prints, gouged the earth. I didn't have to puzzle long. A sleek white SUV, purring with an electric hush that mocked the land's rawness, pulled up next to my truck. A woman in sharp business heels stepped onto the gravel, flashing a glossy, fragile smile. "You must be Mr. Harlan," she said brightly, her tone as crisp as fresh currency. "I'm Victoria Hayes, president of the Peak Valley Estates, HOA. I ignored her welcome, my gaze fixed on the bulldozer. "You care to explain what in the hell is happening here?" "Oh, this?" She gestured airily, like unveiling a trophy. "This is our new neighborhood Vista Point, a playground for the residents, part of our Phase 2 growth. The views are stunning, aren't they?" I finally turned to her, taking in her immaculate outfit and unyielding grin. "This is private land." She nodded, her perkiness intact. "Technically it was. But our master plan designates this strip as shared green space. It's all cleared by the county, Mr. Harlan." Completely above board. A chill rage ignited in my stomach, an old, fierce anger I hadn't known since Mary's long battle with illness, when I'd warred against the universe for her sake. I'd fought for her serenity then, and I'd fight for this haven's now. "Ma'am," I said, my voice low and even. "My family has held this ground since Reagan's early days. Your HOA is barely 5 years old. You've got it wrong." Her smile wavered for a split second. In that instant, I saw the truth. This was no error. It was deliberate. "Any issues can be raised with our property board," she replied, her poise returning. "Meanwhile, our project moves forward." She offered a curt nod, slipped back into her silent vehicle, and vanished. I didn't watch her go. I headed to my fence line, heart thudding a slow, weighty beat. I needed to grasp something solid, something that fit. I traced my hand along the weathered pine of an old post my father and I had sunk in concrete 3 decades back. Then I halted. My breath snagged. The corner post, the big one, etched with our initials by my dad's pocket knife, was gone. Shattered at the base, splinters scattered on the dirt. In its stead stood a shiny white PVC pole in a blob of new concrete. A laminated tag zip-tied to it read, "Property of Peak Valley Estates." No trespassing. They hadn't merely intruded. They'd obliterated. They'd stolen a fragment of my heritage, a piece of my father, and swapped it for a synthetic falsehood. That night, no chili, no swing, just a table piled with faded deeds and yellowed surveys. This wasn't a mix-up. It was an assault. And I wouldn't yield. The icy fury that rooted in my gut that evening was unlike the quick flare I'd felt facing Victoria Hayes. This was enduring. This was granite. I pored over my father's ancient maps spread on the kitchen table, the aroma of old paper and ink filling the space. But I knew family lore, no matter how solid, wouldn't cut it. Their strike was sleek, stamped with red tape. I'd have to battle on their turf. My first call, at daybreak, wasn't to an attorney. It was to Tom, a buddy from my youth who now burrowed in the county recorder's office. I kept it brief, recounting the tale in terse lines. He went silent for ages. When he spoke, it was a hushed murmur. "Jack, tread lightly," he said. "I reviewed the Peak Valley expansion file last week for another query. The docs are airtight." It was rushed through. Rushed by whom? The interim recorder. A guy named Harold Knox. Tom said he approved it all personally. "Listen, Jack. The map they submitted, claiming a greenway over your field, it's stamped, official. To the county, that turf is theirs for the taking." He paused. "Don't say we talked." The line died. Harold Knox. I had a target. The 2-hour drive to the county seat was a stew of building wrath. The building was a bland slab of concrete and glass, as misplaced in our terrain as Victoria Hayes's SUV. I located the deeds office on the second floor. Behind a Formica desk sat a man with receding hair, a cheap tie, and a smug aura of petty power. His nameplate, H. Knox. I placed my original deed on the counter, my father's signature bold as ever. "I'm Jack Harlan. I think you've erred on my holdings." Knox didn't glance at it. He eyed me over his specs, boredom mixed with irritation. "Harlan," he muttered, pecking my name into his PC with 2 fingers. "Ah, yes. The south plot next to Peak Valley Estates." "No error, sir. The plan's approved. We have the updated plat on record." "A map filed 3 months ago," I said tightly. "My deed's from 30 years back. It trumps any fresh sketch." He chuckled patronizingly. "That's not zoning, Mr. Harlan. The county greenlit the blueprint. The HOA's in bounds. If you've got a gripe, fill out Form 3B7, the Border Dispute app. The panel meets 3rd Wednesday every other month." He shoved a fat stack my way, a brush-off. He was a fortress, and he knew it. I left with a certified copy of their phony map, its stamp a slap in the face. Next, the sheriffs. The prior night, I'd found my east pasture's electric fence sliced clean. 2 prime yearlings had strayed to the road. Pure luck no rig hit them. I detailed the sabotage, the intrusion, the bullying to a young deputy named Sanders. He heard me out with rehearsed apathy, nodding as he jotted. "So, you're saying the fence was cut?" He recapped. "I'm saying Victoria Hayes's crew is scaring me off. They invaded, wrecked my stuff, risked my stock." Deputy Sanders sighed, ripping off a form. "I get your anger, sir. But without proof or witness, footage, our hands are tied. Could be teens. Could be anything. I'll log it and check." Another fortress. I knew that report would sink to the bottom drawer, dustier than my dad's old marker. Driving home, I felt utterly isolated. The system I'd relied on lifelong now schemed against me. If the law balked, I'd dig my own truths. That evening, I dusted off the Dronia top-shelf quadcopter for scouting distant herds. Its lens sharp enough to spot an ear tag from 1,000 feet. As dusk bled away, I launched it, a stealthy sentinel in the gloom. I steered it over the build site on my ground. From above, the gash looked worse. But zooming in, my blood froze. This wasn't playground prep. Stakes and flags formed an odd grid, too vast, too intricate. I spied geo-survey gear, core drills, seismic shakers. Then, half unrolled by the dozer, blueprints. Wind had flipped a corner. I dipped the drone, heart pounding, and maxed the zoom. The image cleared. The title screamed in bold: Emerald Peaks Luxury Resort and Spa. Phase 1, Golf Course and Villas. My breath hitched. This was no overlook. It was a megabuck resort. A colossal theft, piled on deceit. And my ranch, my water claimed smack in the crosshairs. Next morning, I learned their ruthlessness. Heading to town for feed, as my truck hit the first sharp bend, I pumped the brakes. Nada. Pedal floored. Panic surged as I battled the rig, grinding gears, yanking the e-brake, skidding inches from a sheer drop. Shaking, I checked underneath. The line wasn't frayed or corroded. It was severed and neat, intentional cut in the tubing. They hadn't just threatened. They'd aimed to end me. That night, I skipped lights in the house. Sat in my father's worn armchair in the dark, shotgun across my knees. Every groan of the timbers, every leaf rustle, sounded sinister. The enormity crushed me. This wasn't just Victoria Hayes. It was Knox at County Hall. It was resort moguls. Folks with cash to buy justice and guts to slash brakes. How does one guy combat that juggernaut? For the first time, despair crept in. My phone, mute on the side table, suddenly glowed. Not a Kala encrypted alert from unknown. I frowned, opening it. 3 words. I can help. Those 3 words pierced the stifling dark. I can help. I stared, suspicion first, not relief. A cold surety this was their ploy, a lure to draw me out. Finish what the break started. They'd crossed lines already. Why not this? Every gut instinct from a life of independence yelled to trash it, smash the phone, trust only my hands and the scattergun. But reason slithered in, colder. What alternatives? I was solo versus a monster. Rage fueled me, but insufficiently. Out of paths, backed up, you grasp even slim odds. My thumb lingered. I typed warily. Who is this? Reply instant, cryptic. A friend unmet. To shift this, trust me. Tomorrow 2 a.m. The Lone Star Diner on Highway 93. Alone, park rear. The Lone Star Dinera dive 40 miles out, haunt for haulers and drifters. A spot to vanish. The paranoid directions oddly lent credence. A snare would be blunt. This reeked of real fear. My instincts flipped from trap to perhaps. A thin perhaps, but mine. Next night, I took my spare truck, every trailing lights a menace. Shotgun under a jacket on the seat. Parked in shadows by the bins, watched 10 minutes before entering. The joint stank of burnt Joe and fryer fat. A lone waitress swabbed the counter, weary. 2 drivers hunkered over eggs in a booth. I claimed the rear one, eyeing the door, ordered black coffee I'd ignore. At 2:03 sharp, the bell tinkled. A man in his early 30s entered, rumpled suit like he'd napped in it. He scanned, eyes jittery, nodded subtly at me, then slid opposite. His hands quivered as he clutched the mug the waitress delivered. You're him, I said flatly. He nodded, gulping. Thanks for coming. Wasn't sure you would. Still unsure I should, I muttered. Talk. I'm Michael Lee, he whispered. I'm on the infrastructure panel for Peak Valley HOA. My hand tensed near my belt holster. You're with them. He rushed, head shaking. Officially am, but I didn't know. Joined thinking we built community. Architect. Bought the dream, but saw glitches. He leaned in, urgency overriding fear. Budget's off. Millions for geoscans, fees to dummy firms. One firm's owned by Harold Knox's kin. Good yarn, but I'd had my fill. Words are cheap, I said stony. Lied to buy prose. Why buy yours? He met my eyes square. Terror lingered, but resolve flickered. Because proof, he breathed. He pushed a slim recorder across the tacky table. Like a pen. From last week's exec call. Victoria Hayes, developer, lawyer. Thought secure. He offered an earbud. Listen. I paused, then inserted. He hit play. Static, then Victoria's voice, icy known. The Harlan issue's a pest. His truck mishap should have clarified. A man's chuckle, stubborn coot. Nearly plunged. Shame. Victoria, emotionless. Escalate, if needed. Emerald Peaks is too lucrative for one rancher. Drown him in suits. If not, permanent fix. I yanked the bud, knuckles pale on the table. The callous tone, the laugh damning beyond any fake chart. I eyed Michael anew. He wasn't theirs. A guy who'd wandered into Vipers, now staking all to escape. Why? I asked hoarsely. He exhaled shakily. 2 daughters, Mr. Harlan. Moved here for them to grow right, on solid ground. This project's rot lies, avarice. Poison. Can't abet. Can't watch them crush you. We sat quiet, plates clinking, fridge humming. A tacit bond formed in that grimy booth. He the insider, me the claimant. They'll ruin you if they know, I said. They'll ruin me if they don't, he shot back. I nodded. Right. Next. Gather all, Michael said, voice firming. I access servers. Copy real files, budgets, investors. Smart, though? No real phones. No mail. He slid a burner. This only. I took it, weighty with impending strife. As I rose, he gripped my arm, eyes urgent. More, they're accelerating. 2 weeks, big summer bash. Ads everywhere, trucks, inflatables, banned. On your south field. He whispered, Sham. Memos say groundbreaking for backers, press disguised party. Dig with witnesses, defy you to halt. Our chance to end it. The fortnight post-meet with Michael Lee dragged like an Ian. Days seemed normal sun-crested East Ridge, horses fed, fences fixed. But tension crackled beneath. Our chat sparse, paranoid via burners. Every day's, his ping, permits for road secured. Bribed inspector. Or, marketing for Emerald Peaks. Pre-selling to foreign buyers. He supplied ammo. I built the gun. I wouldn't just crash their fest. I'd turn their podium to stocks. Fest day dawned crisp, painfully bright. I heard it first off-key horns of a school band mangling Sousa. Nearing my south pasture in the pickup, the scene was audacious, dreamlike. Banner, Peak Valley Community Jamboree. Beyond, my field hand receded by Dad Post Dash, 88 drought swarmed with folks. Vans parked willy-nilly on grass. A giant bounce castle puffed up where they'd smashed Dad's post. Food rigs, a clown with balloons. Victoria Hayes on a temp stage in sundress and hat, queen of pilfered turf. She laughed, hobnobbing a state rep. My fury was chill, contained. No mere breach, now a triumph strut. I had a scheme. Pulled close where drive met sod. In bed, under tarp, portable PA, Jenny from barn dances. As I unloaded, 2 beefy guards in HOA polos blocked. Help you? First growled. Private gig, second added. Not invited. My land, I said, eyeing stage. Makes me host. Step aside. First smirked. Nah, Gramps. Why not I crank the Jenny? It bellowed, smoke puffing, muting the band. In shock, I shoved past, mic and speaker in tow, marched to crowd center. Folks gawked. Murmurs, who? What's up? 50 feet from stage, I planted speaker, maxed volume, flipped on. Feedback screeched, halting all. Band midbar, clown rigid. All eyes mine. Victoria glared from above, smile vanished, fury etched. My voice thundered. Pardon, folks. I'm Jack Harlan, owner of this ground you're on. Confusion rippled. Victoria flailed at guards, mouthing fury. I know you came for fun, I boomed. But duped. Not green spasea felony site. Before guards neared, I hoisted Michael's recorder to mic, hit play. Victoria's voice rang. Harlan pest. Truck should have warned. Chuckle. Shame. Stubborn goat. Gasp swept crowd. Rep distanced from her. Parents yanked kids from castle, ashen. Victoria's face storm. Lies. Doctored. She yelled, but too late. Truth unleashed sticks. Guards pushed, but crowd stalled them. Local ranchers I'd known flanked me, stone-faced. Fest dead. Illusion popped. I held as throng dispersed. Victoria ranted into phone, poise wrecked. Didn't matter. First skirmish won. Not in court hush, but here, truth my blade. War declared. Retort would be fierce. The fest blast rippled countywide. In 48 hours, phone clips titled Rancher vs. HOA Tyrant viral. My mic'd reveal a legend. Peak Valley locked down, no comment to press hordes at gates. Pre-storm. I knew next salvo, lawyer barrage, bury me in filings. Michael and I had riled the beast. On his tip, I got Rebecca Stone. No glossy firm 30 years battling core for ranchers, smallholders. In her cluttered office, she absorbed my saga uninterrupted, eyes keen. I handed David's drive, emerald blueprints, mails, payoffs, audios. She leaned back, grim grin. Arrogant, Mr. Harlan, she said assured. Thought untouchable, you dumb hick. Arrogance trails. We'll noose them with it. First time in moons, not solo. Trial day 1, courtroom jammed. My side, boots, jeans ranchers, farmers, Kinsean clip, smelling grab. There's Victoria, trio suits costlier than my rig. She serene, whispering amused, like nuisance. Judge Margaret Pierce, silver-haired Sharpie, famed for shredding slickers. Gaze quelled whispers. Rebecca's opener, surgical takedown. Calm, she stacked facts like incisions. Not border spat up plotted conspiracy. Will prove, she told jury, defendant Hayes and Peak Valley waged fraud, threats, harassment on client. Forged records, wrecked property, arson bid, plot to county tops. Victoria's lead, silver-haired tan, shrugged legally. Painted me cranky loner, hype-prone, anti-growth. Simple mix-up, borders. Harlan chose drama over channels. Early days, Testimony blur. Rebecca ruthless. Screened fake map beside my deed. Drone vid of dozer gashing deep. Accountant traced shells to Knox kin. Each shred built guilt wall. My stand. Defense shark circled, twisting words. My defense is as mad rage. Megaphone clashes. Temper, Mr. Harlan. Spine, I snapped. Learn protecting yours. Toughest. Assailing first audio as illegal, tossable. Tense hour. Judge might concur. Victoria smug. Strategy. Nitpick truth away. Turn. Rebecca called Michael. Nervous. Hands clasped, but steady. She led. How as board architect, he unearthed secret emerald. Timeline. Covert meets. Hayes's lies. Credible. Jury wrapped. Cross brutal. Failed pro. Jealous sabotage. Past promo months pre-discovery. Sneer. Revenge? Michael stood, but worn. Their weight. Discredit linchpin. Rebecca rose slow. Mr. Lee. Defense claims fabrication, malice. Pause. As source, evidence to others besides me. Objection. Relevance. Overruled. Judge fixed on Michael. Answer. Deep breath. Yes. To FBI. Murmur. Hayes's lawyer froze. Beyond docs, audios? Yes, video. What? Hidden cam in meet with Emerald backers, state planner. Hayes led. Objection. Ambush. Unseen. FBI has judge iced. Now us. Proceed. Lights dimmed, screen dropped, vid rolled. Crisp. Victoria at table head, Venom smile. Harlan hurdle handled. Truck flop, but point made. County pals bury suits. One man. Can't halt. Champagne toast, to Emerald Peaks. Progress, any means. Vid end. Lights up. Silence tomb-like. Victoria ashen, poise pulverized, panic raw. Judge stared. Court finds Peak Valley under Hayes knowingly schemed to seize non-jurisdiction land. Further, Hayes in crimes. Conspiracy. Wrecking. Attempted murder. Gavel. Restitution to Harlan $4.5 million damages. Fees. Punitive. You, Mrs. Hayes. Remanded pending charges. Bail denied. Flashes popped as bailiffs advanced. Hayes rose, yelling appeal. Trap butt drowned in uproar. Neighbors cheered, whistled. I sat, exhaling months-held breath. Out to sun, blinking. We're done. Won. But gazing mountains to ranch, fight lingered. Land reclaim over. Peace reclaim just starting. Post-trial months quieter than dreamed. Justice arrives soft, post-storm fresh. Papers feasted. HOA had 15 years in grab plot. Recorder in bribe net. Emerald cratered in suits. Bust. Peak Valley dissolved by state. Rain ended. Hayes. Knox faded to whispers in cafes, stores. Settlement sat in bank. But not cash counted. Landmine, marred but mine. No new rig, no trip. Funneled to earth. Hired local kids from old families. First, bonfire. Yanked PVC poles. Heaped, torched. Plastic melt under stars. Purge. Graded scars smooth. Reseated south with native. On ridge Hayes-eyed for vista where she smirked I built afresh. Not fight memorial, but purpose testament. Open corral, cedar post strong, gained sky. For Colt's life. 3 months post-verdict, grass sprouting, I threw bash. No sham with signs real. Harlan's Haven hoedown. Invited all, supporting ranchers, court kin, strangers who patted back. Came statewide. Ranch alive, bluegrass twang, brisket smoke, kids giggling on old Mares. Auction strangers, shared tales over salad. Not my win hours. Of home is holy. Michael parked cars, broad smile. Change from diner ghost. Fear gone, assurance in. He, homeowners forming true co-opterms, open books. Handed beer, we stood by corral, sun dyeing clouds gold. See, Jack? Real kin. Hell of a scrap to recall, I said. He grinned. Worth it. Evening, old cowpoke neared, nodded gate sign. Better in old. I'd carved oak, Harlan's Haven top. Below, a vow honored. To Dad, land merry. Party waned. Last trucks grumbled off. I hit porch swing. Poured bourbon. Sat to Chains Creek. Air cool. Pine barbecue scented. Diesel ghost. Silence right not void. Land's breath. Thought of Marisht loved kids' echoes. Fought solitude. Found better. Peace via right welcomes. Land quiet, whole. So what do you think about the violence and injustice in stories like this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Take a stand on whether standing up against corruption justifies the risks, or if there's a better way. I'd love to hear your views.